What's your name?
So what's going to happen if I don't give you my name?
Then you can be under arrest.
If you are going to threaten us with physical violence, you better make sure you're willing to go all the way, because I am.
The way the law works is if the law doesn't say you can't do it, then you can do it.
If you want to lock people up for not breaking laws,
all men are created equal is the idea that if it is wrong for one man to commit an act, it is wrong for all men to commit that act. Too often, members of our government exclude themselves from the ranks of equal men referenced by Thomas Jefferson when he said.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Henry live stream on the Henry YouTube channel. Today, my hair is crazy, but as I always say, we're here to talk about something much crazier than my hair, which is hard to believe. And what we're talking about is my stalking charges out of Vermilion County. As most of you will know, Lackluster just covered this case on his channel. Of course, if you don't know, you're going to go check that video out. It's his newest video, and he did a great job covering the events. It was a very interesting video. And I'll say that today's live stream is about updating you about the upcoming court date, which is on February 16th. Today, at the time of this live stream, it is February 14th. So we have 2 days, less than 2 days, until the next court date. We are looking to have everybody here attend the court date. You know, whether you hate me, whether you love me, whether you don't really know how you feel about what I do, whether you're completely indifferent, what the deal is that the judge has ordered that the next court date be held via Zoom meeting, which, as you know, public court hearings and public trials being open to the public, we ought to all attend this Zoom meeting, providing that I can get the link. So I'm going to be doing my job, trying to get you all the link. This is the plan. 2 hours before we have to be in Zoom court, I want to hold a live stream. I want to get you guys in here. Remember, this is going to be February 16th. It's going to be at 8 a.m. And that's just the live stream. The actual court date is 10 a.m. So we want everybody to be in there. Let them know that people have their eyes on the case. People are watching. But also in this live stream, I want to read to you the court documents in the case, because we are allowed to do that. It's one of the few things that we are allowed to do. And so I would like to bring that up and present it. So first, what we're going to present is okay, we're going to look at the order denying my motion to dismiss. And that's this here. So as most of you know, we made a motion to dismiss on January 31st. Now, here we are. This was released a few days after that. This is a order denying defendant's motion to dismiss and modifying pretrial release, finding defendant in contempt, and affirming a jury trial setting. So I'm going to read through this, guys. I'm going to do it pretty quickly, so stay with me. State appears by its Chief Deputy Prosecutor, Chris Reed, and Deputy Prosecutor, Nina Alexander. Defendant appears in person and by counsel, Elizabeth Smith. Parties appear for a hearing on defendant's motion to dismiss and other matters. Defendant, pro se, filed an unverified motion to dismiss. No formal memorandum of law was attached, but the motion substantially served this basis. State filed a response in opposition. Hearing is now held on the motion, with defendant assisted by counsel. Neither party presented evidence on the motion, but arguments are well made. The court finds that the defendant has not met his burden, and the motion must be denied. So, I mean, this guy is, it's out of his hands, the judge. I mean, according to him, the motion must be denied. So, Indiana Code sets forth a non-exclusive list of reasons for which an information may be dismissed upon motion of the defendant, and the procedures for such actions, including timing. Indiana Code provides for the form and procedures to be used on motions to dismiss in criminal cases. The court finds that the defendant included no affidavits in this cause to support the substantial factual allegations made in the motion. Now, I want you all to keep in mind, we don't actually have What are you trying to do? Oh, we don't actually have any like we didn't differ from the probable cause affidavit of the states at all. Like I made the motion, and the motion was made in the assumption that every fact laid forth by the state in their probable cause affidavit, as far as my activities go, were true, which they aren't. I just was making the motion based off of, hey, even if what they do say is true, it's not sufficient, So defendant's motion challenges the information on the grounds that the state has not alleged a crime, in part because his conduct is constitutionally protected, which is a defense to the allegations. The court takes judicial notice of the charging information and affidavit of probable cause filed herein. So that just means that the judge has taken notice. He's reread the charging information and the affidavit of probable cause for this case. He said, as a preliminary matter, the court finds nothing defective about the charging information on its face and within the four corners of the document, such that any challenge would rest upon additional evidence. So he's saying basically that he accepts, he reviewed the probable cause, and he says, no, I didn't make a mistake. This is good. So unless the defendant was going to bring on some new information, meaning unless I was going to provide new information to the court's going to keep the case open. So that's basically what it says in here. It says the court finds that much of the defendant's motion interjects facts that are not properly before the court and require an evidentiary hearing, which a finder of fact and trial are best suited to resolve, and not in a motion to dismiss. Then they quote case law where a court said this. So the state's objection is well taken that, quote, a pretrial motion to dismiss directed at the insufficiency of the evidence is improper. And of course, this was the only case law that the prosecution was going to quote at the hearing. They said, hey, this motion to dismiss isn't argued properly. They didn't really dispute the facts in it. And it was pretty, I don't know. His only other argument was the First Amendment isn't a blanket protection for doing anything that you want to do. But then he didn't ever provide for me doing anything that I wanted to do, and then claim that the First Amendment protected me, because I don't do that. So now we get into the contempt, right? Because I told you all I made three live streams prior to that hearing, and I said the court is going to put me in jail because the court has imposed ridiculous and unlawful pretrial conditions on me that I refuse to comply with. And so, as I said, they did comply, they did exactly as I said they would, no surprise, and they threw me in jail for 24 hours. So we're going to pick up on this here. The court conducts an evidentiary hearing on the issue of contempt, specifically the defendant's failure to report for pretrial supervision. The court finds the probation officer testified credibly. Right? This guy said things that really weren't true. They were broad generalizations that didn't really get into the meat of what I was talking about. He just made really, really broad generalizations. So the court finds the defendant willfully and wantonly violated the court's order filed on January 25th, 2024, for the reasons stated in open court, which was, that I wasn't going to comply. So the court grants the defendant's oral motion and remands the defendant to the custody of the Vermilion County Sheriff in want of bail, as previously imposed, in the amount of $10,000 surety with 10% cash authorized. And of course, my friend Jeff Pettyjohn came and posted that for me. He's a real trooper. He really, really has been helping me with this case. So shout out to him. Thank you for that. He's really a great guy. So then it goes on. Defendant shall serve 24 hours in custody to purge his contempt for his continued violations of the court's orders. Remember, I am innocent until proven guilty. This is the facade that they have in the courts. But because I didn't comply with the court's orders, that's why I was in jail for 24 hours. Not because I was found guilty of a crime, but because I just didn't comply with the court's orders, right? Because I just said no. And so they got mad and they threw me in a cage, a concrete cage, and it was terrible, right? It was literally torturous. And anybody who's been in a cage, 20 years, 2 days, 2 hours, will tell you it's torture, right? Nobody likes it. I feel terribly sorry if people have gone 20 years wrongly incarcerated, which has happened for sure. And that's a big deal. Okay. All right, so then they just say that we need to comply with pretrial supervision, or not pretrial supervision, pretrial, like getting the discovery to the prosecutor and vice versa, file any motions to dismiss, yada yada yada. But I want to show you all now the motion. This is going to be a different motion that I'm sharing right here that you're seeing right here. This is a different motion. This is an order resetting final pretrial and jury trial, right? So apparently all the lawyers got together and they asked for a telephonic or they asked for a Zoom meeting, right? So the court says the parties have not yet complied with the court's pretrial order and require some additional time. Upon examining the attorneys, the court determines this cause will require more than the 1 day currently reserved, which the state agrees. So basically the court has said, look, instead of the 1 day that we needed for the jury trial, now we think we need 2 days. So, and that was the court that did it. So the special judge will confer with the Vermilion County Circuit Court to determine whether the jury trial can be extended to 2 days in its current setting. Presently, the special judge has conflicts, but may be able to move those as the parties stand ready for trial and neither party is moving for a continuance. If not, the jury trial may need continued due to court congestion, at which time the court would use the current date for a final pretrial hearing. At this point, the court is not continuing the jury trial, but will address dates during the final pretrial. The court now converts the final pretrial hearing to a pretrial hearing on February 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m. to be held remotely via Zoom. Now, that's super important. Everybody that's here, if you're not busy, February 16th, 2024, that is looking like Friday, this Friday. If you're not busy, come to my channel at 8 a.m. and attend the court hearing, because after I go live on that day, I'm going to drop everybody in the live stream, the Zoom link. I want everybody to come show up in court and show these people that we have eyes on this case, right? We just had one of the biggest accountability channels on YouTube cover this case. We will be bringing more attention to the case in the future. And so we will see what's going on. See, we have John D. Nicola, forgive my ignorance, but why not file another motion to dismiss? John, I'll have to ask the lawyer about that, That's a good question. Maybe we'll see. And then this Six Oaks Farm, you could have filed a motion to amend motion to dismiss and added your precedent the court asked for. They're usually granted if they're corrective in nature. And, we'll ask about this stuff. This is why it's helpful to talk to everybody, because not only do we get eyes on it, but we get suggestions for things and some of them are very credible suggestions. So I see For Public Safety in here. That's another great channel on YouTube. Chris is his name. He runs another accountability channel. He just served 10 days or so in jail. Chris, let us know in the chat how many days you just served in jail for your fighting for your freedom, everybody. So that's another great channel. I got Harvey Freebird in the chat. I see Jerome Shows. Harvey Freebird is another YouTube channel. Jerome runs a Facebook page. For Public Safety says 14 days, 2 weeks. This guy did. He's a great accountability channel. I did 24 hours for your freedom. I did. I said to everybody before I went to court, I said, guys, I'm not budging. We're going to show these people that some of us will not allow them to be violated. And I won't allow myself to be violated, at least not willingly, right? There's only so much I can do when there's 3 guys with guns in front of me, and that's the prospect I'm facing. But I won't let them do it willingly, right? So that is what the deal is. And these guys that I'm just talking about, For Public Safety, Harvey Freebird, they're the same breed. They don't let anything go on. They don't let anything go on willingly. They fight to the end. So they're 2 great channels. But guys, while we're here, And we got 291 people in the chat. I'm happy to entertain you all because we came here. I do want to update y'all about this case. But I would like to go and show everybody again. Well, as a matter of fact, no. We've covered this case, everybody. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get this out of here. We're going to do something new. What we're going to do is I am going to show you all a city council meeting that I attended with Ty last night in Shelburne, Indiana. A few of you saw it on my second channel earlier this morning, but because of editing being, taking a while, that footage hasn't come out at all yet. So I've got the footage, and I think I'm going to show you it just now. We're going to do a little commentary over it. We'll take another 5 or 10 minutes to show you all that, and then we will probably wrap this right up. So I want to show you all this. And I want to preface this footage, right, by saying a few things. This is what you're seeing here is the Shelburne City Hall, or the Shelburne Town Hall meeting. Now, Shelburne is a small town in Indiana, all right? Now, I see Direct D in the chat. Thanks for being here, Direct D. He's another great freedom fighter. He will not back down either. He's being a little bit crazy in the chat, but hell, I like that guy's channel. He's a brilliant person. So go check him out as well. But this is the Shelburne Town Hall meeting. What happened was my phone ran out of battery. I was live streaming, so I picked up a second phone. We started recording with that. I make a comment about cops extorting people, and watch how these guys react. I mean, if this doesn't show how unhinged government employees are, I don't know what does, right? So we'll show you. And I'll kind of commentate on it because the audio is terrible. Let me just...
But going forward, we got a system like
So Matt writes tickets for him. I got you. So another thing Matt's got to do.
Yeah, that's why he extorts everybody for. They got to pay. They got to pay something. Excuse me, sir. I'll comment whatever the hell I want. Yeah, I will.
I warned you once.
What? What are you gonna do?
He's
springing into action.
Be quiet. Don't shoot me only one. I'm going to warn you one time.
I'm not going to shoot you, sir.
One time. Don't talk.
Go on with your meeting.
We've got rules of conduct, and one of them is not.
I'm not disrupting you.
And not putting other people.
I'm not disrupting you. You're disrupting you.
Made a comment disparagingly about.
No, I can make a comment. I can make a comment under the First Amendment of the Constitution.
I don't care. We got rules, and I'm telling you, if you keep it up, I will have you escorted out of this building.
Well, go ahead and do it. You'll get sued.
You keep it up.
Go ahead. I'm telling you to go ahead. Come escort me. I'm not going to leave. Go ahead and escort me.
Okay, you got one. Then you get two more because I thought that was illegal to get 3.
Matt, you know this is illegal. This is illegal.
No, it's not.
Escort me out and violate my rights. I'm not going to walk out. Escort me out.
So he says he's going to violate my rights. And, of course, we all do know that we don't have rights because these people with guns, they will kill you if you try to exercise them to the fullest extent. So he says he will violate my rights. He says that he's going to. He brings me. But listen to what he says. I'm going to tell you something. There's a sheriff's deputy sitting about 5 feet away from this incident as it's happening. He's recording because his wife is a part of the meeting, right? She's a public official. She's a part of the meeting. So he's recording the meeting on his phone. And this cop who's arresting me, Matt Price, looks at him when he turns his camera around to record what he's doing. And he says, the guy who's arresting me looks at him and goes, "You're a police officer. You should be ashamed of yourself." Let's watch. It's pretty crazy.
This lady with her complaint.
That you're a police officer, Oakland. You should be ashamed of yourself.
He's filming you violating.
So I don't know if you all heard that, but let's listen again. He says, "You're filming and you're a police officer. You should be ashamed of yourself."
This lady with her complaint.
That you're a police officer, Oakland. You should be ashamed of yourself.
He's filming you violating my rights.
Let's go.
Escort me. I'm not going. You pull me out.
And he thinks this is funny. He's sitting on the board. He thinks this is hilarious.
Hey, by the way, Miss Clerk,
He does.
can we set up a time to talk? I'll call your office. Thank you. Ty, stay, brother.
Yeah, so they dragged me out of the meeting, and guys, I didn't never go back in because, as most of you know, I've got 4 open cases on the counter. My hands are full. You know, these are public meetings. Anybody's welcome to go and challenge it. And there actually was somebody who challenged it, and we have that footage, and we're going to get that to you, hopefully, in a more timely manner than most public agencies get public records to us. So, hopefully, we can do that for you all soon. We've continued this live for about 20 minutes. That's about as long as I like to have lives go on. I want to give a big shout out to Lackluster, who just ran this story on his channel, not about the town hall, but about me getting charged with stalking for asking questions. And then I also want to give a shout out because after that, some people have donated to me on PayPal for legal funds. Before that, though, I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Tom Moffitt, who donated extensive amount of money, $700, and that's gone towards a legal fund, which has helped out a ton because we do have depositions coming up soon. And depositions in Indiana, if you're not from Indiana, I don't know how it is in other states, but it's ridiculously expensive. So we're still paying for that in advance, but we're going to get that done. So in this, we've got Nike Nab sent $5. Big thank you to Nike Nab. We've got Richard Powell sent $20. Thank you, Richard. Steve Barnes sent $20. That's really helpful. Thank you. And I want to say there was more. There was some Cash Apps that I want to give shout outs to. So I'll get in there and Andrew Crouch sent $5. You have my back. Wish I could do more Army vet, man. Thank you, Andrew Crouch. That's something that it must be a real shame to be an Army vet and then see what the country is deteriorating into in real time. Because they sold you this lie that, hey, you're going to go fight for our rights, and all these people all around the world, they hate us for our freedom and all this. And the whole time, the only people that hate us for our freedom is the government officials that are sending these boys off to war, or these young people off to war. And they're going and fighting under the facade that they're fighting for freedom. And when they get back, a lot of the times they get screwed over. I mean, they get kidnapped and they get violated. So it's really just a big lie, and it's really unfortunate. So thank you, Andrew Crouch, it's great that a guy can wake up, smell the roses, and really see what's going on. Thank you for that. We got Michael Ceremi sent $20. Thank you for that. By the way, this is all going towards my Vermilion County stalking case because this is what this will be towards. These are all donations sent with relation to that. So that's what this stuff is going towards. So Alla Lindsay sent $20. Ronald Pearson sent $10. Ronald Pearson's a great supporter of the channel. He's always there. Joe Schmo sent $1. He says, don't have much. Keep up the good work. Man, I appreciate that so much, Joe. That's just incredible, man. That's incredible. You'd have a hell of a lot more of those guys if those government people didn't take all your money to begin with. We've got Larry McCrae sent $40 for Hope Them Tyrants Lose. Thank you, Larry. I hope that you do as well. We've got Howard Key with 50 for Love You, Brother, and I will support when I can. Thank you, Howard. You're supporting now, and I appreciate any support, either in person, attendance, in any way, or any way you can support. It's a huge help. Kenneth McIntyre sent $20 for legal fund. Vicky Jones sent $25. Keep fighting the good fight. We absolutely will. Troy B sent $10 for good luck. We got Shane L sent $5 for your defense. Lackluster brought me. Thanks, Lackluster. Brian Clifton thank you, Shane and Lackluster, for sending him. Brian Clifton sent $50 for legal fees. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Brian. And I appreciate everybody that supports, whether it's just being here on YouTube and supporting or following the case on your own accord. I mean, anything helps because these people are the most dangerous people in the world. They have more power than anybody in history ever has. And they're willing to use it against anybody who's willing to speak up. And they're going to be willing to use it all the way until somebody tells them that we're not going to put up with it, right? So I'm trying to light the way, right? I'm trying to show you all that I'm not putting up with it. And hopefully you all will follow suit as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the other YouTubers for being here. That's really great. Lori Heineman said, I'll try to donate again very soon. Craig, hang in there. Thank you so much, Lori. That's really helpful. I see Here's the Deal made it. Hey, sisters and brothers. Here's the Deal is a great channel. He covered this case already, and I thank him for that. That was really helpful that he did that, because all eyes on it are very, very important. And Here's the Deal. I really can't speak highly enough about his channel because he really understands what the deal is, right? Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The realization that no matter who you put in power, you are going to get negative results is an important realization. And so if you're looking to come to that realization, if you haven't come there yet, maybe you're looking for somebody to convince you, Here's the Deal. Go over there, check them out, get enlightened. So it looks like we have a starred super chat here. We got a BIP Solar Bear, 24-hour live stream, $1.99. Yeah, I wish that I had the capability of doing that, but unfortunately, I get extremely, extremely tired. So I will be going to bed here shortly. But guys, less than 24 hours, a Zoom court hearing will be held. I will be going live 2 hours before it. The court hearing will be at 10 a.m. I will be going live at 8 a.m. We will be sharing the Zoom link as soon as we get it because we want everybody to be able to be there for transparency reasons. And I would really, really like if, no matter what you're doing, come into the live stream, even if you're not even going to be there. Even if you're just going to log in and set your phone in your pocket, just do it. You know what I mean? Come there and show them that we're going to be there. We're going to be looking at them. So, guys, thank you all for being here. Much love to everybody. Keep fighting the good fight, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.